humans that once lived on farms and in rural areas, so-called.
Shalom, all praises due to Yahweh Bashem, Yahushua Bashem, Rakakadash, double honesty, apostle and elders, a great millstone who teaches word in sincerity and truth, to the hopeful elect that are scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth, and on the highways and edges. This is Brother Wassup. I'm just going to get into this lesson and just basically about these smart cities and concentration camps. Because they all tie in the same thing, whether you want to call it a smart city or not. That's a concentration camp. You're in a confined space. You're basically in a escape from New York situation that is coming to a city near you. So when I get to the nitty-gritty, hopefully I can try to squeeze in what I can, but I'm going to probably continue on with this one. I'll play the video, and then hopefully, Lord willing, I'll get some scriptures to edify you with this truth that you know that these are the last days, and you have to bear the burden and deal with your cross. That the Lord has given you this truth and this knowledge to overcome the adversities in these last days through the Spirit and truth of this Bible, the Bible that is given to us from the Comforter, Yahushai, which shall comfort you in these last days. I'm going to continue with this video. Shalom.
Wildlands will be relocated to cities, now referred to as human settlements.
And the idea is that if you concentrate populations into specific areas or zones, less energy usage, less water usage, will have less reason to leave home.
Fair use, fair use. I'm not making any money or profiteering off of this. I'm just doing this for edification purposes. Fair use.
They'll stay in their homes. They may even work out of their homes. And so they're not going to be using their cars. They're not going to be using energy. And they're not going to be using water.
Since, as we saw earlier, the UN is not big on property rights, it should come as no surprise that the first private property to be phased out will be single-family homes, what socialists at UN headquarters consider suburban sprawl. Instead, we the people will live in apartments and condos in megacities near railroad tracks. Our super tall dwelling units will all be built to UN-specified building codes authorized by ICLEI, COGS, the ADA, and a myriad of NGOs and other friends of sustainable development. While the animals run wild in continental corridors, we the humans will live in transit villages and smart cities.
Smart growth, or new urbanism, is that ideology that says that you shouldn't have more space than you actually need. So if you're a couple of people living in a 3-bedroom house, well, you don't need that extra space. So why do you have it?
There's a clear, concerted effort to make it really just about as miserable as possible to exist and use your own private transportation, own your own home. All impetus and incentive, in financial and otherwise, is to convince people that it is unsustainable to live in your own home, have air conditioning. It is their duty as a human being, as a global citizen, you see. You basically exist and little more.
Our high-rise, stack and pack dwelling units, complete with smart meters and smart heating systems, will make sure no one uses too much energy. And if they do, the energy police, with help from the neighbors and eye-on-the-street surveillance systems, will be right there to handle the situation.
If they can put 1,000 people in one building, it's a whole lot easier to know what they're doing, where they're going, and how they're thinking than it is if you got 1,000 people living in a rural or suburban area. And so the stack and pack is multi-story buildings, multiple families living in the same spot, walking in and out of the same door, always being able to be managed. And smart meters play a big role in that management, as they can measure everything that you do in your life when you're using smart appliances.
If you have a garden or a single family residence, while you're watering your garden, you're maybe have more than one bathroom, you're taking too many showers, you're using more than your 10 gallons of water a day. And this is unsustainable. So you need to be removed from your single family residence.
Anybody that's got a couple of acres of land and his own water supply and can grow his own food, these people are a threat to the collectivist society, because they aren't going to go to the politicians and say, please feed me, please clothe me, please give me shelter. That's the secret behind Agenda 21. They want people out of the country. They want corporations out there growing all the food and that kind of thing, but they don't want anybody living out there.
To describe human settlements and the food sheds that sustain them as modern-day concentration camps might be a little over the top, because with no cars, parking lots, or air travel, everyone will walk and use bikes, so they will be fit and healthy. At least as healthy as the genetically modified foods they are forced to eat. Humans that once lived on farms and...
So there you have it. Their agenda, what Esau says is gonna go. That's what he wants, but he's gonna create chaos, right? Create chaos to things to be in disarray, and try to bring order, but it's gonna backfire. So you can't use darkness with darkness. That's what he's using. But saying, "Oh, I'm bringing the light," he's bringing confusion, and that's what you're in. You're in a place of state of confusion. That's what America is, a state of confusion. It's Babylonian. They say one thing and do the next. They don't keep to the same agenda. What they bring forth. They do the total opposite. They appear to bring on. Let me see if I can read this. So, okay, it says here, Isaiah 10:01. It says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment," right, "and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless." Verse 2, I read it NLT. It says, "They deprave the poor of justice and deny the rights of the needy among the people. They prey on widows," that's right, prey on women, "and take advantage of orphans. What will you do when I punish you, and when I send these disasters upon you from a distant land? To whom I will turn for help? Where will your treasures be safe?" The Most High is judge this place, mainly judge Israel. You so-called Negroes minded individuals here in Babylon that are oppressed, right? Oppressed. You're in an oppression state. You're not in a I'm in part of this Fifth Amendment and all this, the Constitution. Your rights is the Bible. That's it. You don't need no Edomite rights and all this skull codes and this and that. Your right is what's in the Bible, because the Bible is the supremacy of the land that the Heavenly Father has given unto us, right? But am I telling you to take action in your hand and do all these things? Don't. You gotta be spiritual about what you're doing on a daily basis. So you have to you gotta be with the Heavenly Father's hand to the fullest, with all thy mind and all thy strength, and you're supposed to do that with integrity, right? Because We all have sinned against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Yahweh Wa Yahushai, and he deserves what he requires of us, to be wholehearted with him and to be sincere, because we're married unto him. Even though that he's divorced us, give us the bill of divorce and put us in the hands of our enemies, we still have a contract to fulfill through faith, right? Through his son. So there's the bridge of that contract is to get right with Yahushai, that Yahweh may regard, see that your works that you do towards him is full of remorse, and that you may be pardoned in the time of Jacob's trouble, which is at the door, right? And the door is going to fly off the hinges. So get right with you, what Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has to be doing in these last days. I'm going to continue this with another lesson just now, but Shalom.